my mic? How's my mic? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Dennis Byron Show, sponsored by Hip Hop Inquirer. Today we were covering the very interesting hearing for the singer R. Kelly, and as it relates to his upcoming trial this month. There was a lot of things that came out on both sides from the prosecution and the defense, and we're going to discuss that right after we bring on a very special guest. Acclaimed filmmaker and activist Tariq Nasheed will be joining us today to discuss the protest that is taking place outside the radio station of Power 106. In this protest, the participants will show their disappointment to the station as it relates to one of the guests that appeared on the show, where that particular guest, according to Mr. Nasheed, said some very disparaging things about him.
And I made a video, and it's specifically there. It says Tariq the Ghetto Coon Nasheed. I've always thought Coon was an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
All right. So that's off the bat. The ghetto part, and I've had this conversation with many brothers.
And I heard what you said. You said that you act like you down with the hood, but you live in the whitest part of California.
He's doing like he's steering the pot. And he's talking all this shit about black power and fuck Mexicans and fuck whites. It's all about the black people. But you're living in the white area, homeboy, because you don't got no repercussions for that kind of shit. It's sitting there saying shit like that, stirring shit up that don't know the game, don't know the flavor, don't know what's behind this. So that's why I put the phrase ghetto. You want to be fake as fuck? Coon, you and Uncle Tom, homie. That's all it was. But when you get the phrase and you wake up in the morning and I'm looking at this shit, I've been working at this for 4.
In addition to basically spreading a lie. So we want to bring Mr. Nasheed on to discuss the protest and why he feels the station should have been more responsible when having this particular guest on the show. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a warm welcome to Mr. Tariq Nasheed.
All right, what's going on, family?
Brother, how are you today?
I am good.
How are you?
So basically, how everything started, there was Power 106 radio station had this thing with the rapper Tyga. Tyga had a video called Ay Caramba. Some people within the Hispanic community thought that the video was somewhat offensive. They thought that it portrayed Latino stereotypes. So they brought him to the station to apologize. Fair enough. Many people thought that it was kind of over the top that they would make him apologize because he wasn't being malicious. But what happened was they had this activist named American Chalo, who was the main one leading the charge to make Tyga apologize. And this American Cholo guy is kind of known for being an anti-black racist. So we're calling out Power 106 for platforming a vile anti-black racist to sit here and wag the finger at people about what they need to do and not do as far as race relations. So this American Cholo guy has been going on different platforms saying a bunch of untruths. So he's been saying a lot of untruths about me, saying that I've made disparaging remarks about the Latino community, which is completely false. He's been using racial epithets left and right. And we're having a protest today to make Power 106 apologize. The protest starts at 12 noon. Power 106, they also have a reputation of not hiring a lot of black on-air personalities. That radio station kind of fell off since Big Boy left, the very popular Los Angeles DJ. So we're just getting some straightening going on out here. If we're going to talk about race relations, if we're going to talk about race relations, we got to talk about it all across the board.
So I was not aware that Big Boy was replaced by is that Adam 22?
No. We're talking about No Jumper. No Jumper is
No Jumper.
different.
No Jumper. Okay, okay. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Okay,
No Jumper is something different.
So one thing I saw recently was that this individual, American Chalo, on that show, but I saw the background shots, and it appeared to be a lot of people that showed up at the studio as well. I don't know if that's and I've been in studios for many years, and I've never seen that many people in the studio for a taping.
Right.
Did you find that uncomfortable just to watch that? Especially with the subject matter.
Yeah, basically they brought all those people up there to intimidate the on-air personalities there. That's all that was. That was about intimidation. And I thought that was kind of cowardly. You bringing all those people up to back you up for a podcast. If you're going to tell the truth, you let the truth back you up. You don't have to have a bunch of people from your neighborhood come up there backing you up. I thought that was real weak and cowardly. But a lot of people thought that the intimidation factor worked on some of the people over at No Jumper, because it sounds like they were kind of cop and please to a certain degree. So the thing is, I invited the guy, the American Cholo guy, I invited him to come to my platform. He turned it down because I'm armed with the truth. I'm going to hit you where your history is. I don't have to do the name calling. I don't have to use epithets. I stick to history and facts. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about the facts at the protest, and we're going to let people know what the grievances are. Because if Tiger has to apologize and we have to respect people's feelings, they have to respect Black people's feelings as well.
And the fact that that it was a situation where the host pretty much let the guy off the hook when he was making claims about you. I know that had to feel like disrespectful, especially when they didn't provide context to what you allegedly had said, unless I didn't see that footage. Can you explain what you said versus what he said and show the inconsistency of that particular statement?
This guy, the American Cholo guy, keeps making it seem like he was reacting to me. He wasn't. He wasn't reacting to me. He made a preemptive attack on me. I don't know that guy from a can of paint. He started making crazy videos talking about me. I never called that guy any kind of names like that. And basically he was using that to justify all of the racial epithets. When he was on No Jumper, he kept using the same racial epithets and nobody checked him on that. And I thought that was very weak of the host to not check him on using those epithets. So again, this guy has been lying left and right, and we can't have a discussion about race relations if people are not being honest. And that's the thing. We got to have honesty and truth to power.
Well, and there's a danger factor there as well, because when you put out that type of rhetoric that is not backed by any truth, and then you show up at a studio with 50 plus deep to allow that rhetoric to grow, it poses not only a danger to you as an individual, but it shows the irresponsibility of a large platform like that to even let that occur. I don't even know where was security when all this was happening. Why did they even allow that many people in the studio in the first place?
Right. So that was a very interesting dynamic as it is. So, and look, when I get back to LA, I'm going to be on the No Jumper podcast. I'm going to get back on there to talk about some stuff. So, it's a very interesting thing.
What message do you have to the people that will be attending this protest today? And or is there any cautionary measures that you want to tell the audience right now, when they approach this protest today?
Yeah, just be brave. Just be brave and tell the truth, man. The truth. You should never be afraid to tell the truth. And again, we're going to, if they're going to make Tiger respect the racial sensitivity of all of these other groups, they have to respect ours. When we say, hey, man, y'all got a guy, you platform this guy, Power 106 gave this man a platform, and this guy is a vile anti-Black racist. So Power 106, you have to apologize. You got to take responsibility, just like you made Tiger take responsibility, and they have to apologize. It's that simple.
Lastly, I did hear American Cholo state in so many words that he didn't believe that foundational Black Americans deserve or should have the right to get reparation. Is that an assessment that I'm making?
Yeah, he said that. I mean, he not only did they say we shouldn't get reparations, him and his friends were talking about they need to protest foundational Black Americans trying to get reparations. So they kept trying to make it seem like people were taking this man's words out of context. That man has been consistently anti-Black. His rhetoric is anti-Black. Nobody's taking him out of context. And this guy has to be called out for that. And any platform that gives this man a voice, they have to be called out too.
Absolutely. Well, sir, I do appreciate you taking the time to come on the platform. And it was something else that was said about you living in an affluent neighborhood,
right?
Versus you not being true to the hood. I want to point out that a couple of weeks ago, in that affluent neighborhood, you intercepted or interceded in a situation where a young man was at a gas station, a very well-known rapper, and that happened in your neighborhood. Can we talk about that briefly?
Yeah, the rapper Designer was in my neighborhood and he was hemmed up by the police, and I kind of stepped in to make sure that he was okay because they looked like they were trying to harm him. So look, I live in a place called Chatsworth. It's racially diverse. It's not an all-white neighborhood. And even if I did live in an all-white neighborhood, I can live anywhere I want to. This whole racist notion that black people are supposed to live in a predetermined place, that's Jim Crowism. So again, that's another racist ideology from that man.
Well, sir, I do appreciate you once again coming onto the platform, and I will definitely, while I'm not in California right now, I've been covering another high-profile case involving former, well, I won't say former R&B legend R. Kelly,
Yeah.
but I would just say that my prayers are with the protesters and making sure everything turns out peaceful and the message is obviously being heard, and you just be safe out there as well, Mr. Nasheed.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you as well. Thank you.